What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Chris. As always, with me,
Liam.
He's so confused about that today, apparently. In a previous episode, if you've seen it, let me know what episode it was. He said he would never be confused about his name never changing. It just happened. Anyway, we're diving in today to a kind of a gut-wrenching episode for those of us who did not play the video games and just walked into this blindly.
Me.
This was a rough one for some. For many of you who played the video games, who were maybe sleuthed through the internet, you knew what was coming, and I kind of want to know your opinion down below. Was it done justice on screen? Was it everything that you thought it would be? Were some of the Easter egg hints leading to it enough for you to be like, the video game is getting its portrayal here? Kind of interesting to see, because you haven't played the video game, so you haven't seen this particular scene.
I saw the scene, I'm like, why am I even going to watch this again?
Yeah, we'll see where it goes from here, because that's one of the things that, let us know down in the comments. A lot of people who played the video game, when they experienced the, Joel getting killed by Abby, were very upset, like very torn. This was a very controversial moment when the video game was out, and also now, again, when HBO shows us it again on screen. So other than this particular character who we know, love, and is probably one of the more iconic characters of the franchise that we actually want to follow, Pedro Pascal's character of Joel, now being taken away, the fight scene for the town itself was pretty, that was pretty cool.
Remind me very much of Resident Evil.
Yeah, see, this episode very much gives me Game of Thrones vibes. And I don't know if it's because it's HBO and Pedro Pascal, and then the way they just did him dirty reminded me so much of how he got taken out in Game of Thrones. Like, so all of that's like blending together for me right now. But do you remember when the White Walkers attack the wall and like that whole scene with the giant and he's like, they're all lumbering towards it? Like, I got that same vibe, like snow, everything's almost the same other than, we have guns now instead of swords and arrows, bows and arrows like Game of Thrones. So the whole thing for me was very reminiscent of like the White Walker attack of Game of Thrones. Yeah.
I didn't get that at all.
Yeah.
It was a lot of struggle for me after watching this. And I think the biggest reason is I kind of only want to watch it because Joel was, Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
Right? That was the only reason I had any interest in. I'm like, okay, they're doing an adaptation of a game I have never played before, but I like Pedro Pascal, so yeah. Why not? And that's how I originally got into the series. Everyone told me the game was great. Awesome. But it was pretty sure only for PlayStation.
Yeah.
So, not PlayStation fan, never have been. So I never got to play the game. In this episode, I liked the fact the woman that killed Joel, Abby, like how we got to feel what she was feeling. They did a very good job of that in this episode.
Yeah. And that's the same perspective you get in the game.
Is it?
Yeah. So the way they're doing it in the show is more like a chronological time order. So that makes more sense to the viewer, where in the game, it's more like it's memories. We're like jumping back, or nightmares, right? So like we're jumping back and forth and we're learning different things. Where this one's it's much more chronological, right? So we're learning it in real time. But yeah, we get to see Abby learn about her dad getting killed by Joel, which sends her on her vengeance mission, which we got to see her fulfill on this episode. All of that happens in the game.
I thought when she ran into Joel and Joel helped her, that was going to be enough for her to be like, maybe I need to question some things.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were going to straight up kill him in the second episode.
Yeah, no, that's what they were going for, 100%. And many people knew it was coming from the games. But the way in which they do it, him saving her and then going up to the lodge and then like that whole thing, like that's unique to the show. But yeah, I don't think her character is so driven by vengeance by that point that I don't think there would be anything that would have stopped her from killing Joel. Like, that was her only thing that's keeping her running right now, was getting revenge.
Even the people around her, though, were, like, questioning things.
So half of them were. The other two were kind of smiling as she was whooping on him with the golf club.
A little psychotic there, but
yeah.
But there were a couple of them that were definitely like, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah. They're not in it. Like, they're rebels. They're not supposed to, they're not in it to just kill people and torture people. Like, that's not what they are. Like, Abby even says she has a code. Like, they live by a code. It's a much more honor-based system. They are a rogue faction on a very specific mission of vengeance, right? And when they see how far Abby will go, you are right. Only half of them are really willing to be a part of something like that. where the medic girl, she's like crying in the corner. She wants something to do with it. The one who's in love with Abby is only putting up with it because he loves her. And then you have the other two, the shaved head woman who's from Sabrina. She's one of the main chicks from the Sabrina show. Phenomenal actress, but I forget her name. She's kind of like smirking, smiling, watching it happen. And then the other Hispanic, maybe Native American looking guy, he's also, I think he's from Marvel. I'm pretty sure he was the new Falcon in Marvel. If I'm putting the characters correctly together, the guy who plays that,
I don't know,
like mustache, kind of shaggy haired Firefly, I think he's the new Falcon in Marvel Universe. Let us know in the comments if I'm putting the right connections together. It's an early morning for us. My brain's not firing just yet, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the same guy. But anyway, he was also smirking and pretty happy about the idea of like torturing Joel.
And then they sedate the one girl.
Yes, Dina.
Okay. And then we have the immune chick.
Elle?
Yeah. We've got her with the younger Asian dude.
The ex-boyfriend, friend kind of guy. Yeah. The third wheel now.
Yeah. I thought that interaction when he came to get her, she's like, oh shit, is it 8 o'clock yet? He's like, no. I just like to be on time.
Yeah. It's another scene pulled directly from the video game.
Is it?
Yeah.
That was really well done, in my opinion. I love the fact that he gives her shit for you kissed her.
Yeah. And then he's like, I don't actually care.
Yeah, that was good. And then they go off to do their little scouting expedition. Storm gets real bad, and they end up in a grow shop.
Yeah.
That was cool, too.
We get another nod to this Eugene character who we have a lot of mystery around this season, right? We get introduced to his wife as a therapist in season 1 or episode 1 of season 2. Kind of find out that Joel had to execute him. We find out in this episode he was a Firefly who gave up those ways way back when. Had a secret grow operation that he was kind of, into, which makes sense because, the wife was talking about his sticky buds in the first episode. So it makes sense. That's where he gets them. But yeah, I don't think this is the last time. Like, we're not done seeing Joel. We're just done continuing the story with him. I think what we're going to end up seeing is the 5-year gap that we just jumped over. We're going to get flashbacks of that, what happened in those 5 years, and that's how Pedro Pascal stays relevant in season 2. I don't know how you keep him going in season 3. That would make no sense, but he keeps him relevant, keeps him on screen, keeps people like you who are only there for him showing up for it.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm really not, but I know through experience with HBO and other series that they've done a pretty good job of their flashbacks and keeping people alive after they're dead. And fuck you, Disney, for not doing that with Foggy.
We don't know yet.
I know.
We've only made it through one horrible season, and most of those episodes were written by a team that no longer is on this show. So I have hope that we can do some pretty cool, like, true nods to that character as we develop that series more. But, like, where it stands right now, I totally feel you.
All right, back to Last of Us. So those drums were really cool. I expected them to go up a whole lot sooner. It felt very post-apocalyptic, medieval, which is pretty much exactly what it was, right? Yeah. And I love the whole nod to like a feudal society where they've got those kind of stuff with the castles. And
yeah, it's very much like that siege mentality where
yes,
like they're trying to storm the castle and you're like, dropping oil and fire and everything you can on them to stop them.
But I gotta ask, what was the point of the one worker still working on the pipes and then noticing that it's finally under their city?
So it gives us a reason why they stopped following Joel, right? So Joel's riding away from the horde, right? Abby on the back, Dina's on the other horse. They're riding away. They're basically getting converged on as they're riding. And then all of a sudden, everyone turns and goes the other way. Them turning and going the other way doesn't make sense to us unless they found a bigger source of prey.
Okay.
And so him unraveling it, those tendrils coming out, and then him actually realizing, oh shit, like now they know we're here. That's supposed to be a nod to like, they found what they were looking for. And so the swarm basically moves to the bigger source of prey.
Reprioritizing.
Yeah, we're not going to chase these 3 when there's a whole village of them over here that are sitting waiting for us. So they just kind of and go back that way.
And by the end of the episode, it showed that they were able to fend off that attack pretty well. I think
they survived it. I don't know about pretty well. It's pretty like they lost their city, their infrastructure, and most of their people.
Based on those numbers, they shouldn't have survived.
No. I think they do have an advantage. One, they are highly trained, right? Like they were prepared, ready. They had a plan and they executed it well.
And they drill all the time.
Right. So they're very high trained. They have commanders and people in positions of leadership who are at least with some military background. So they're helping out greatly in that aspect.
The Fireflies even said it. Yeah. A lot of them seem to be veterans and very well trained.
Right. Yeah. Their routes are overlapping. They have all, every exit and entrance covered. They're patrolling. Yes, they're well established. So that greatly helps. And when you are like constantly drilling, even the simplest farmer can become a pretty lethal warrior if they're trained. Right. And they're taking the time to train them. They're not just sitting around waiting for something to happen. So that helped out greatly. However, at the same time, when shit hits the fan, all your training can go out the window if you've never actually dealt with a high stress situation before, which you see a lot of the people on the roof. And the minute they're actually in danger, they actually start like getting killed, right? They can't handle that level of pressure. But to your point, they survive it.
Yes. Joel's brother,
Tommy.
the wife was really, is that his wife?
Yes.
Yeah.
His wife, yeah.
She was really cool. She's really good under pressure.
Yeah, I enjoy that actress ever since True Blood. Then I loved her in Shameless. I mean, I love her in everything she does.
That's where I know her from.
But she's badass for sure.
Because you were talking about the roof scene, that reminded me of her up there. Like, she's watching someone get chased and she's like, oh, he's gone. But she just kept going and going. She was just focused on what she needed to do. Fuck everybody else.
Her husband too, Tommy. And there's multiple times where, he's holding it.
She hesitates. Up there. She's like, what's going on? Is he gonna be able to handle this? And it looked like she was going to compromise her position there for a minute.
Yeah. Oh, she almost does, right? Because she takes the bloater, the bigger guy, and like draws his attention. But then Tommy's like, no, fuck that. And he pulls him in.
Yeah, I'm the man here.
Yeah.
This is my job. If anyone's going to die in this thing, it's going to be me.
Well, if you were in a situation where it's you or your pregnant wife, right? What are you going to do? Yeah, exactly.
Still. It's macho stuff right there.
I mean, of course. And that's to Tommy and Joel, too. That's who they were. Like, that's why the characters represent is like that rough, like rugged, old school, like man. The one that like stuffs out his emotions and, rub some dirt in it. Let's go. That guy.
Pretty much every veteran we were around.
Most people we know, yeah. The biggest parts of this episode are the siege, we'll call it, on the town. And
the forward operating base. And that's what I think of as a fob.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It operates as one for them. Maybe even just like a home base, because I don't know what they're going to do next. We'll see. And then Joel, like the big thing with Joel, right? So him thinking he's saving another girl, thinking he's doing the right thing, and ultimately getting himself put in a situation where he has to pay for saving the last girl he saved, right? So let's talk about that, because you didn't think it was going to go, you thought he was going to get saved, right? Yeah. So how did you think that was going to play out?
That Joel's going to get saved?
Yeah, like how did you get beat up, Elle shows up, Elle saves the day kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other Asian dude came behind Elle, is what I thought was going to happen to eventually save him.
Yeah, he doesn't show up for like another 30, 40 minutes. He's just wandering around in a circle somewhere.
Don't do that, because I'm mentally going to be blaming him for Joel's death.
Yeah.
For not getting there in time.
Bad directions. He couldn't find the house.
It's because he was too high.
They're always high. I mean, what else are you going to do in a post-apocalyptic world where it's frozen? I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. The cold there is... They did a very good job of showing how intense that cold is. Yeah. And the other thing I'll mention is we had someone in the comments let us know that's filmed up in Canada. This location.
That makes sense. It's gorgeous up there.
Yeah. So it's definitely not Wyoming like they said it, right?
That's where it's supposed to be.
But yeah, it's filmed up in Canada is what they were saying. I haven't fact-checked the comments.
I wonder what part of Canada. Let us know. Because I've been mostly on the West Coast, Banff, a lot of British Columbia, Kelowna, Calgary. Where else have we got buddies that we've gone in? So that I've gone and visited. Have you gone up there yet?
No.
To visit? Okay.
My only time that I was ever in Canada, I crossed over the bridge at Niagara Falls, got stopped before the other end of the bridge because my girlfriend at the time then was a Colombian au pair. And apparently when they get their visas, you're not allowed to leave the country.
That makes a lot of sense.
So we were just going to do tourist stuff, right? She said it should be fine. I was like, well, I don't know shit about visas. So we go over, they deny her entry. And they're like, yeah, but because you just came here, you can't go back to America either. So we sat on that bridge for over 8 hours, waiting to figure out what was going to be done. And ultimately, we got sent back to U.S. side.
Yeah. Hard lesson learned, but also you guys got off pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've also done the Niagara Falls crossing from being born and raised in New York myself. I have definitely done that before. But I'm talking about as an adult traveling and going and visiting. A lot of it's been more Western Canada than Eastern.
So for me, I'm still struggling. I guess I'll give the next episode a chance. But right now, I'm feeling like I don't want to. The other odd coincidence, I don't know about the timing, but the Pope died yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Like the real Pope and real, like...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if it had anything to do with them killing off a great character.
Angels are weeping for you, Pedro. The angels are weeping. No, I mean, this episode was action-packed, but that's what it was. It was a really big action scene and then a traumatic death. And that really is what this episode was all about. And so if any of that you want to add to it, want to let us know some stuff from the video games, want to definitely weigh in on your opinion. We love to chat with you guys in the comments about what you think of these as well. But really, that's it. We get to see where it goes forward from here. We have an entire city full of death right now that has to be taken care of. Do they really want to refortify that same city? Do they want to move somewhere further north? Or it might make sense to actually move somewhere where it's like surrounded by water, maybe like an island that's frozen, more fortified, easier to defend.
If it's an island and it's all frozen, then they'll just walk over the ice.
Could be.
For me, the one thing that's missing from like a feudal castle kind of situation is the rings for the city.
Okay.
So in feudal, like the big castles that had big cities surrounding them, there were like layers of walls and barriers that you had to get to. Like, you got to defeat this ring before you can get to the next ring, so on, before you get to finally the people and the most important people.
The more money you have, the further you're inside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that was disappointing for me that I did not see in that town, because they could easily have taken advantage of those fortifications, because you got the buildings close enough in the towns that you can wall off the certain areas. We saw a little bit of that when Tommy was defeating that big monster with the flamethrower. We got a little bit about that because he was trapped in there. So I would have liked to see like a little more broken up in the city to better fortify in that sense. But aside from that, I thought the fortifications were pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're looking at it from a very unique lens of understanding that it needs to be set up to defend against a siege, right? Where I don't think at any point they thought they were ever going to deal with a swarm that large where it was so cold. Because the most they had run into was 3 or 4, right? A couple of them here or there. They'd never been able to like move up that far without freezing to death and just like basically laying there frozen in the snow. What they didn't realize is that they're, burrowing underneath that, using that as insulation, right? So I think they did the best they thought they needed to without understanding that, like, we may need to defend against an army. Because if you were going to set up to defend against a swarm, it definitely would make sense to have an exterior wall and then an interior wall. That way you can fortify, right? But other than that, I don't know. Like you said, they did a decent job, right? They did.
Just because what you were telling me about Adam's character in the video game, do they ever like adapt by becoming just straight up tunnelers?
They do. They could borrow, yes, but no, like
tunnel paths, like ants or something, where they can go and just come up underneath the walls or something like that.
Not to my knowledge, no. I never ran into that. No. Yeah, but it's been a long time since I played, so I don't think so.
I would think that would make sense. I mean, the root system knows that it's got to burrow.
So that does happen. Like the roots do go underground. Like that is a very connected system, but infected themselves, no. Like it's more zombie fungus than anything else.
But they're fast zombies too.
The bloaters?
Like a lot of them seem to be fast zombies. Like they run full speed.
Yeah. They're not your shuffling, Day of the Dead style zombies. Yeah, they're much more, World War Z. Although World War Z is probably some of the most gnarly zombies ever. I know you hate the movie, but the book's still good.
the book is phenomenal.
Yeah, so let us know down below what you guys... What's that?
I'm still pissed.
Yeah, let us know down below. Are you as pissed as Liam that they killed off Joel's character? And will you continue watching even though Joel will only be a afterthought, a memory from this point on? Or were you ready for it? Did you play the games? You knew it was coming and now you're ready to see where they go next? Let us know down in the comments below. What was this episode for you? I know for me, it was definitely, it reminded me a lot of when Pedro's character on Game of Thrones went through his whole thing. Don't want to spoil that for you if you haven't seen it, although it's very old now. I literally jumped out of my seat when I watched Game of Thrones during that episode. So I wasn't quite there with this one, but still, it brought my heart right back there. So appreciate you guys tuning in all the way to the end. If you enjoyed this episode, hit that like button for us. It greatly helps us with the algorithm. Definitely comment below what you thought. This is more of a discussion, as always, than us just preaching about something. And if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and do so. And if you want early access, cool things, shout outs on videos, we have a Patreon. The link's down in the description. But other than that, we'll see you guys on the next video. Matter of fact, I have a whole playlist of videos right here. You can check them out, as well as a whole video on Prime videos that we've been doing. We really love Prime. They really push the edge on stuff, especially fantasy, boys, things like that. You can check it out right there. And then YouTube said, based on your search history, the one above my head is something you might like as well. So check it out. But other than that, make sure you're subscribed, and we'll see you on that next video. Peace.
Find the strength hiding in each battle scar. You're not who you were, you've already come far.